Really good that you have a lot of TERFs jumping in on your movement. That's a really good sign. Hello, welcome back to my channel. So, apparently super straights are a thing now. Okay. This is a growing community that started on TikTok, but I only heard of it earlier when hashtag super straight was trending on Twitter. And I'm gonna give my 2 cents, even though nobody asked, because that's just what I do. So, first thing, what is a super straight? According to these people, they're just straight people that don't date trans people. I'm pretty sure there's already a term for being straight. It's called being straight, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong about that. So, second thing, are super straights transphobic? Yes. And before the straight people, or the super straights, whatever the fuck, before you guys pull out your pitchforks and your torches, I'm gonna dive into it and explain why I think that, okay? This whole thing started by this kid, Kyle Royce, on TikTok.
Okay, so I just woke up and I was sent some screenshots. Turns out, very surprisingly, this is some 4chan shit. How surprising. Transphobia coming from 4chan. It's also like a neo-Nazi plan, I guess. I'm gonna include screenshots, the screenshots I was sent on the screen. I've already gone ahead and blurred out the slurs, so yeah. And now that this has like been leaked to Twitter, they're like now going back on it and being like, you guys got trolled, which, like, I guess, okay, it doesn't change the fact, like, I'm still gonna make this video just because I can, but yeah, just so we're all on the same page, all of you dumb libtards got trolled by 4chan, whoop-de-doo, which I don't know why they're, like, now making that a big deal and, like, laughing at people, because, like, their whole plan was ruined. And you can tell by these screenshots, so whatever. Okay, enjoy the rest of the video.
The TikTok has been deleted from his page, I think, but Twitter thankfully gave it to me. So in the TikTok, he says, I'm gonna quote, like, word for word what he says. He says, yo guys, I made a new sexuality now, actually. It's called super straight, okay? Since straight people, or straight men as myself, I get called transphobic because I wouldn't date a trans woman, you know? They're like, would you date a trans person? I'm like, no. They're like, why? That's a female. No, like, that's not a real woman to me. I want a real woman. No, you're just transphobic. So now I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender, women that are born women. So you can't say that I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality, you know? End quote. There's a few things that I want to point out in his video, but first I'm gonna say it right now. Or I'm gonna answer it right now, I guess. Is it transphobic to not date a trans person? In my opinion, no. I think just having the conversation of like, hey, trans woman friend, whatever, this is nothing against your looks or your personality, but I identify as a heterosexual male, and being with someone that has a penis would just make me uncomfortable in a relationship. I don't think that that's a bad conversation to have, and I don't think that that's transphobic. That's my opinion, and honestly, I thought that was like a lot of people's opinion, like the majority's opinion, because this whole argument has been around for a while. I thought it went away in like 2018, but I guess I was wrong. But I'm pretty sure the agreement is that it's not inherently transphobic to not date a trans person. Anyway, so now here are some things about his video I want to talk about that I think reveal his true intentions, okay? The first thing is when he says, quote, so you can't say that I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality, end quote. So I think this could be taken 2 different ways. One, it could be him using a made-up sexuality as an excuse to be transphobic. Or it could be a poorly worded way of him saying, I have a preference, I'm not transphobic. Personally, I perceive it as the former. And I perceive it that way because of the second line I want to talk about, which is when he says, quote, "That's not a real woman to me, like I want a real woman," end quote. That is transphobic. That's blatantly transphobic. Saying you wouldn't date a trans person because you just aren't into certain genitalia is fine. That's not transphobic. But saying that you wouldn't date a trans woman because that's not a real woman and you want a real woman is transphobic, and you're entirely invalidating that person's identity. You can say, I'm not comfortable with dating a trans person without invalidating the trans person. But for him to throw that in, that like pretty much shows what this whole thing is really about. And then the last thing I want to point out is that in this fake conversation he's having with someone, when he says that like the other person asks him why he wouldn't date a trans person, he says, quote, as this other person, he's saying, quote, "Why? That's a female," end quote. I think his wording in that is really interesting, and I think that it's another example of transphobes using weak arguments and scenarios that happen very, very rarely, but then taking them and expressing them as if that's how the majority of the trans community acts, behaves, speaks, etc. Very few people are going to say that a trans woman is female, because female is the biological term, and trans people fucking know that. A trans woman isn't going to say that they're a biological female because they're not, and it's not a bad thing that they're not, but it's true that they're not. Whether Kyle did this subconsciously or not, honestly, I don't really know, but it still pushes the false narrative that trans people think that they can change biology or that they're trying to erase biological sex when that's just not the case for the majority of trans people. Are there some trans people that say that they are biologically male or female? I mean, I've never met one and I've never seen one, but I'm not going to say that they don't exist. But again, they are the very small minority. Another example of this kind of argument is the whole, like, bathroom situation where transphobes are claiming that trans people are actually just dressing up to go touch little girls. Does this happen? Unfortunately, yes, it can. But grown men putting on dresses to go into the women's restroom doesn't really have anything to do with trans people. And even then, like, it doesn't change the fact that there's literally nothing stopping anyone from going into any restroom. Like, restrooms don't have security guards. If a man dressed as a man walked into the women's restroom, he's not going to get shot down. Like, he can go in there. It would obviously be inappropriate, but it can happen. Again, this scenario that represents such a small minority is then taken and expressed as if it's the majority and that trans people are predatory when, like, really, bro, they're just going to the bathroom. So then that brings us back to the argument in this scenario, which is that trans people will call you transphobic if you don't date them. Can this happen? Yes. But again, majority of trans people don't think this way. And yet again, people have taken these instances that don't represent the majority and twisted it to where it looks like every single trans person is going to call you a transphobe for dating them, for not dating them. So anyway, after Kyle made that video, super straights started getting, I guess, like, popular on TikTok. I don't know. I didn't see one, thankfully. But, I mean, they got popular enough to get a hashtag trending on Twitter. And honestly, Twitter is where it becomes very apparent that this movement is just, like, cloaked transphobia. So I have quite a few screenshots of tweets here and that awesome picture of me. So I'm going to break them down. I have a lot more than I thought. Anyway, so this first one. Okay. So this one says, adding the hashtag superstraight to our community. Retweet if you stand with LGBS solidarity. And then a bunch of heart emojis, so it's heart, heart, heart lesbians, heart, heart, heart gays, heart, heart, heart bisexuals, heart, heart, heart super straight. We must welcome every valid form of exclusive attraction to our community. Hashtag get the T out, hashtag LGBS. And then they used a little love is love gif, which is really cute. Fuck it, I'm gonna put this person's ad. The ad is TERF Elite. Okay. If you don't know what a TERF is a trans exclusionary radical feminist. They are women, majority lesbians, I think, that are just very proudly and openly transphobic, specifically to trans women, but, like, it's really just trans people in general. So, man, if y'all have TERFs being, like, hopping in on your movement, you might not be doing something right. The next one is a picture of the straight pride flag, which I think is literally just the, like, Pornhub logo, but without the word Pornhub. It's the black and the orange. So this tweet says, "What is super straight? This is a new sexuality that means you are only attracted to cisgender women or men. This was made due to an influx of people saying that you aren't straight if you aren't attracted to trans women/men. We are a part of the LGBTQ plus now. Hashtag super straight." I like that he said, or she said, I don't know, we are part of the LGBTQ plus community. So you're still keeping the T in there. So at least you're doing that, I guess. I don't know. But also, very interesting that this person says, this was made due to an influx of people saying that you aren't straight if you aren't attracted to trans women or men. Fucking who is saying that? Actually, I'm sure that there's some TikTokers claiming this. But again, it is the minority. And you people... Honestly, this is just an example of how straight people are crybabies. Oh my god, you had to make up a whole sexuality just to, like, separate yourself from other straight people? Make that make sense. I don't know. But again, it's, you know, representing the minority as if they're... Oh yeah, sorry, it's eyeliner. Representing the minority as if they're the majority, which is just, like, they're making trans people look bad. Whether they're doing it, you know, on purpose or not is not, like, very clear. In my opinion, they are, but whatever. Here's one from another TERF. It's really great that you have TERFs supporting your movement. That's a really good sign for you. So this one says, most lesbian apps are overrun with AMABs, which stands for assigned male at birth. And if women say they're same-sex attracted, they're banned. Same and opposite sex attraction is real and valid. Lesbians and gay men should not be coerced or abused for being same-sex attracted. If women say they're same-sex attracted, they're banned. I feel like on a lesbian dating app, I mean, I've never been on a lesbian dating app because I'm not a lesbian, but I feel like that is either not true or incredibly over-exaggerated. Like, it was probably someone being incredibly transphobic and then getting banned, and then they said, oh, it's because I'm same-sex attracted. I doubt that's the case, but okay. Same and opposite sex attraction is real and valid. Hey, nobody ever fucking said it wasn't.
People have actually said that. You know who? It's not trans people. It's homophobes, you fucking idiots. When you're so transphobic that you join sides with the people that were calling you faggot until the trans people became more visible in media and they became the punching bag. How the turntables.
Lesbians and gay men should not be coerced or abused for being same-sex attracted. Honestly, that is a true statement. Like, you shouldn't be treated like shit for being same-sex attracted. But again, nobody is genuinely coercing or abusing people into dating trans people. And again, if there are those people, it's such a fucking small minority that it doesn't matter, and it should not be not that it doesn't matter, because that's a bad thing to do, but it should not be taken as the majority of the trans community. But again, this is a TERF foaming at the mouth to fucking invalidate trans people. Next one is LMFAO at the hashtag super straight thing, just flooring the gender wangers. I don't know what that is. ... You lot made the rules, but now they're working against your bullshit and you ain't happy. Oh, the hilarious irony of it all. I genuinely don't know what this person's referring to. I'm kind of unsure as to why I screenshotted this, because what the fuck is this person even saying? First of all, gender wanger? I'm gonna have to look that up. Okay, so gender wanger is apparently... Let me see, there's a tag for it on Twitter. Looks like a transphobic term, so it's really good that you're using that and then claiming you're not transphobic, but okay. Okay, yeah, so it's a bunch of transphobes using this. Interesting. Okay, cool. So that's really going for your argument that you're not transphobic. That's really helpful there. You lot made the rules, but now they're working against your shit and you ain't happy. I don't understand what he's talking about. Or she, actually. I'm pretty sure this is a woman because they have hashtag super lesbian as their Twitter name. I don't know what rules you're talking about. What the fuck are you even talking about? But now they're working against your shit and you ain't happy. What are you saying, dude? Next one. Okay. Hey, hashtag, oh, here we go, another turf. Hey, hashtag super straight community. Don't forget to embrace our hashtag super gay and hashtag super lesbian brothers and sisters. They only like organically grown genitals too. Love is love. I love that these people are preaching love is love, but then are openly basically saying fuck trans people. If you break it down, like, if you look through the bullshit of, like, we're not transphobic, we're just tired of being, I don't know, whatever the fuck they're saying. It's just y'all saying you don't like trans people, right? Because there is a way of saying, hey, I don't feel comfortable as a straight man dating someone with a penis. I gave you an example of how to say that earlier in the fucking video. For you guys to, like, make a whole new sexuality just to exclude trans people, just to then go and say that said exclusionary sexuality isn't transphobic is very funny. Someone said, if you're offended by the hashtag super straight thing, you're literally proving their point. I'm not necessarily offended. I just think that y'all are fucking stupid, but what's new? But it also, being offended by something that's excluding trans people, I don't think is proving the point. Because the point that y'all are trying to make is that trans people are, you know, mad or something whenever you say you don't want to date them. I don't think being offended by the fact that someone felt the need to make a whole new sexuality just to exclude trans people proves that point, but okay, I guess. Next one says, imagine realizing a sexual preference, giving it a name, giving it a flag, and identifying it, just for people to call you stupid and transphobic. Being hashtag super straight is not transphobic. It is a sexuality, and if you think otherwise, you're the bigot. Do I have to explain that one? Got another turf. Awesome. This one says TRAs, which stands for trans rights activists, I think. So, TRAs, you will just have to cry yourselves to sleep tonight. This is what happens when you get too big for your boots. People are sick of your bullying. Oh my god, turfs are very funny. People are sick of your bullying? Are you kidding me? Are we in fucking middle school? Grow the fuck up, you fucking... It's the irony of saying that you're gonna have to cry yourself to sleep tonight, and then y'all are gonna create a whole other sexuality just to prove that you're straight, I guess, even though straight people already had their thing. But we're the crybabies. It's not you guys. It's not you guys. You guys aren't the crybabies, because that'd be ridiculous. Again, if there are people saying that it's transphobic to not date a transphobe, or it's transphobic not to date a trans person, I'm sure people are saying that. But again, it's not the majority. And you people are just so, like, reactionary and fucking dumb. Oh, here we go. Hold on. So this one. The hashtag super straight is really showing how the TRAs have no boundaries. Some people are opposite sex or same sex attracted. Someone not wanting to fuck you isn't oppression or phobic. If you try and shame people into sex, that's coercive and rapey. Stop. No one owes you sex. I feel like I'm getting repetitive, but I don't care. Again, just taking the minority and presenting it as the majority, because very little people are saying that someone not wanting to fuck you is transphobic. Some people are opposite sex or same sex attracted. No fucking shit. If you try and shame people into sex, that's coercive and rapey. No fucking shit, dude. But again, these people presenting this stuff show, it makes it look like this is what the entire trans community is doing, which is literally just not the fucking case. Oh, this one's funny. So someone said, this is the worst thing to have come out of TikTok. And someone replied, he said, prejudice against super straights, I see. Just accept us for who we are. Hashtag super straight. Okay. Oh, this one. This one I tagged because it is fucking hilarious. And I don't think they understand the irony in it. Can we get hashtag LGBS trending? Lesbian, gay, bisexual, straight. Let's support our sexually oriented allies. Hashtag super straight, hashtag super gay, hashtag super lesbian, hashtag super bi. Hashtag super bi. Okay. Hashtag super bi. Okay. So, bi people, bisexual people, like more than one gender, right? They like men and women, and that can include trans men and trans women, okay? So for you to say that this movement is not transphobic, just to say hashtag superbi implies that there are people who will not date trans people specifically because they are trans. Because bi people don't have a genital preference. I mean, they can prefer one over the other, but they like both because they're bisexual. So for you to say super bi, just to say that it's not about being transphobic, you just ruined your entire fucking argument right there in this tweet. This one I just think is kind of funny. It just says, I like my bitches organically grown. Hashtag super straight. It's definitely original. I like my bitches organically grown. I like my bitches growing in the ground after I plant a seed and then I rip them out by their roots. Or by their leaves? Whatever. This one, another turf. The people furious about hashtag super straight are saying it is transphobic, aka bigotry, to not include someone into your dating pool. Sexual coercion is not okay. Stop with the social pressure for sex. So creepy. It's why hashtag super straight is trending in the first place. This, as well, is fucking going into that argument about the bathroom shit. It's painting trans people as predators when it's not the case. For the like very big majority, it's not the fucking case. You guys are so like over dramatic and you find any excuse to exclude trans people that you make a whole fake sexuality just to exclude trans people when you could really just say, I'm transphobic. Because like the normal fucking people that are like, hey, I'm straight and I don't feel comfortable dating someone with a penis, those people aren't going to identify as super straight. They're just going to identify as straight, right? There's nothing even wrong with being straight, okay? Like, you guys get clowned on because you guys do stupid shit like this. There's nothing wrong with being straight, okay? People can make jokes about straight people, whatever. It's probably because, you know, you guys have been shitting on, you know, the LGBT community for fucking literal centuries, but whatever. Sounds like y'all can't take a joke, but whatever. It's just so much, like, pushing this false narrative. And it's ridiculous. Oh, that's the last one I had. Because I swiped and then it was me covered in blood. It's not blood, it's a face mask. Yeah, so those are all the tweets I have. Straight people are like, why do gay people always make fun of us? And then straight people do this shit. Are you kidding me, guys? Are y'all kidding me? It's honestly a little bit embarrassing. Because nobody is saying that you're not straight if you won't date a trans... okay. Let me reword it before someone poops themselves. Very, very little people who are a part of the community are saying that you're not straight because you won't date a trans woman or a trans man, whatever it is. But you guys taking these few instances and being like, oh, trans people are fucking whatever, just shows that you always had transphobic intentions. The fact that you even had to go and make a whole separate version of straight people that excludes trans people shows that you had transphobic intentions the entire time. Because there's, again, nothing wrong and nothing inherently transphobic with saying, I, a straight man, am uncomfortable with dating someone with a penis. There are a lot of people like that. I'm going to speculate here, but I have a feeling that because of, you know, whatever it is, homophobia, transphobia, whatever, I think that these people don't like the fact that there are straight people that are okay with dating trans people, and so they therefore had to make this to separate themselves from that because you're transphobic. That's speculation, though. This is just dumb. I don't think it's gonna last very long, because it's stupid. I don't know. I don't think there's anything else to say about this. It's dumb. It's a dumb thing to do. It's very ironic. I like this tweet that was like, oh, the irony of it all, and yet this person also fails to see the irony in calling, like, trans people crybabies or whatever. Just to be so bothered by trans people's existence that you go and make a whole sexuality about it. It's kind of funny. Stop fucking taking these, like, few instances of, like, people on TikTok that are fucking, like, saying this. Because, yes, there are people saying that it's transphobic to not date a trans person. I'm sure people are saying that. I haven't even actually seen one now that I'm thinking about it, but I'm sure they exist. I'm like, pretty fucking positive they exist. But again, these people are not the majority of trans people. Stop presenting it as if it is, because it's now being twisted into just another way of like excluding and making fun of trans people when this whole thing is just so fucking unnecessary. Yeah, that was Super Straights. Let me see, actually. I'm gonna see if it's still trending. Oh no, it's still trending. Great. A lot of people are like taking over this tag and making fun of it, so that's cool. At least that was this video. Thank you for watching this video. If you I'm out of focus. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, comment some stuff, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.